Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where I seriously cannot tell the difference between Retribution and the Job Squad. It's Lost in the Midcard. Big week ahead. We talk Bound for Glory, which happened on Saturday. Hell in a Cell, which happened on Sunday. A cliffhanger to end Access, Impact on Access tonight. We're going to talk television, headlines, and let's get right into it. But first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, and any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Wednesday. You also can find us on the YouTube, and the links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard, as well as our pinned tweet on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we also share a lot of the great tweets from the wrestling world. And even if you are just a podcast listener, please give us a subscribe on the YouTube. We're trying to hit the threshold to where we can get our own special URL. So if you can just throw us a little subscribe ski on that YouTube, and while you're at it, maybe hit the little bell icon. That way you know every time a new episode, new video comes your way. Eventually, we're going to do more than just the podcast on there. We're definitely going to get an Uno game going on sometime soon. And we may have to get an Among Us game going sometime soon.
I do not have Among Us yet. Yeah,
only $5 on Steam, so not bad. Not bad. Worth the price of admission. And eventually, if I ever get time, which probably not anytime soon, but if I do ever get time, I actually might start chopping up the video into smaller bits too, as well as the main. Of course, post the main show at all at once, but also put some smaller bits too, just of each individual segment that we do.
People love clips.
Yeah, I know a podcast I listen to a lot. The Completely Unnecessary podcast with Pat the NES Punk, big retro gamer. He kind of does it that way. He does that, puts up the full video on his Patreon, and then throughout the week puts out segments of the show. So that takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I don't have that right now with 3 jobs. So we'll see what happens there. Of course, my background, if you're wondering, is Scott Demore just looking up to me in pure delight. Now he's looking at Rich Swann, who looks toothless in that photo.
He needs his beard back, man.
And he does look weird without a beard.
I don't like it. He looks so weird without the beard.
Of course, Rich Swann, as we had been ever since we've covered Impact again, said that Bound for Glory was leading to Rich Swann winning the title, and we were correct on that. So Scott Demore can start sending us those creative checks in the mail, please. So let's talk. Let's kick things off with Bound for Glory. Saturday evening. Once again, audio and technical issues happened on. I think they mostly were resigned
early
for the kickoff show. Thank God, but that kickoff show was kind of, I don't know.
I didn't see the kickoff show.
It just didn't have a flow to it. That had its own technical problems. They were sitting there staring at the camera for like a good solid minute when they were supposed to cut away.
Oh boy.
They did a video package to kick off the kickoff show, and you could see the iMac controls hitting pause, dragging the video all the way back to the beginning, and hitting play. Very strange. And a lot of people noticed that too. It was kind of weird. But I think by the time the pay-per-view got going, at least I remember Josh Matthews mentioning about some kind of audio issues.
Yeah, they had a little bit of issues, I'd say, the first 20 minutes of the show, audio-wise, but they got it, taken care of.
On Countdown to Glory, of course, the big story was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson doing a virtual induction of Ken Shamrock into the Impact Hall of Fame.
What a good guy The Rock is.
What do you think of The Rock being on Impact programming, Matt?
I'm sure we'll never hear the end of it.
Oh no. I'm surprised.
I think it's cool. I also think it's The Rock saying I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, please come to AEW, Rock. Jumping ahead, but I mean, at this point, seeing everything we've seen, there is no other path to WrestleMania than Reigns and Rock, right?
I would surely hope so.
That's
certainly the thing that makes the most sense to me.
One kickoff show match on Countdown to Glory was Rascals and Deaners, with the Deaners getting the win there.
I heard it was like 3 minutes.
Yeah, it was short. The Rascals kind of in a slump lately. They lost again tonight as well. Matt Stryker on the call, making his Impact Wrestling debut. So I'm wondering if they're going, if he's going to replace Madison, and they're going to go with Josh and Stryker, or work him in somehow.
I've heard they just do a team of Callis and Matthews, and not Callis and Stryker, and get rid of Matthews and Madison off the commentary booth.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. But
well, I'm just saying it would be nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Let Madison wrestle, let Josh do his shit in the back that he does.
Yeah,
and give us a new fresh commentary team. I don't know why Callis is only on the pay-per-views. I'd much rather
I know
hear
why
him on Impact Weekly over Reign.
I know why. I think it's because when they tape TV, Josh and Madison do it from home, and so they're not in the studio, and so I think that's the big part of it. But yet for the pay-per-views, they go into the studio and be there in person. But for TV, they do that from home. So
yeah.
I mean, I can't confirm that, but it's obvious. They're off camera. They got a green screen behind them. I mean, I could say I'm at the Impact Zone right now, you know. Hey, look at me. I'm on commentary right now, live from the Impact Zone. But I'm not. You know. So I could bet good money that Josh and Madison are recording that from home.
No, you're probably right, but at the same token, I don't understand why they couldn't tape a whole bunch of pre-tapes with him and Callis together when they're there at the pay-per-view, and then they do all the commentary whenever.
Yeah. But good to see Stryker. He did a tremendous job with Lucha Underground. Obviously, it was in WWE as a commentator too after he transitioned out of being a wrestler. But really loved his work with Vampiro on Lucha Underground. So good to see Stryker in Impact Wrestling. All sorts of celebrities. The badass Boss Rutan, Mick Foley, Bret Hart. There's some others I'm forgetting right now, but all had some pre-taped messages for Ken Shamrock, so that was pretty cool. First match of the evening was the one I was looking forward to the most. The X Division Championship on the line in a six-way battle. Rohit Raju, Jordan Grace, Willie Mack, Chris Bay, TJP, Trey Miguel. They did not disappoint, did they, Matt?
I didn't want Rohit to win, so I was disappointed by the time this match was over.
Yeah. He was like the last guy I thought was going to win it. Still didn't take away from the match being good, but yeah, he was the last guy that I thought would win it. I thought we were going to get history. I picked Jordan Grace last week on the podcast, but that did not happen.
Yeah, I would have liked to see her win it too. Instead, she's stuck in a pretty stupid storyline with Alicia Edwards right now.
Yeah,
so
got your opinion on that tag team already. So
well, it's not a tag team. It seems like it can, it already exploded. So
I said this on the show, or I did not say this on the show because I didn't know the outcome. I think I said this to Mark Show though, on the DM, and it didn't happen this week, but I think next week or sometime, I think Rohit's going to come out and brag that he's beaten everybody that he can and then out of nowhere, Leo Rush shows up.
I came to collect. He's with MLW right now, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know what MLW's contract and stuff look like, but I do know he was at that MLW tape, and they just recently did. So that might not be happening, brah.
Another problem in the production of the show. Heath and Rhino cutting a promo, and they stop the promo and count them down again to restart. Not a good look, Matt. That was not a good look. Next up, your 20 competitor Call Your Shot Gauntlet Battle Royale. Rhino, of course, we knew was leading off because he lost the match, pinned by Hernandez. Returning to Impact, Sean Daivari looking fucking jacked as hell. Larry D came out. Crazy Steve, AC Romero, Tennille Dashwood at 6, Jessica Havoc at 7, Brian Myers at 8. Next surprise at number 9, little Swoggle. Dreamer at 10, Alicia Edwards at 11, Kiera Hogan, Taya Valkyrie, Falaba. Number 15, sorry about your damn luck. Any word on if that was a one-off or is he back with Impact now?
I heard he was going to be at one of the day's tapings this week. I just don't know when. Maybe he shot Johnny Bravo.
Ooh, he's a cowboy. On a steel horse he rides. He could be wanted dead or alive.
Thank you, John.
Thornstowe from Scum at 16, followed by his tag partner Luster the Legend at 17. Heath at 18, Sammy Callahan 19, Hernandez at 20. Heath seriously injured during this match. They do not mention it, but when you they cut to Callahan and Rhino battling on the outside. You could see them tending to Heath, and it did not look good. Heath was originally supposed to win the match, but they had to call an audible, which thank God they had that part in there.
Yeah, thank God they didn't eliminate Rhino early.
Yeah.
You imagine how big of a clusterfuck that would have been? You know, if Rhino would have gotten like tossed halfway.
Word is that Heath suffered a hernia during the match.
How long does something like that take to heal? I honestly don't know.
Probably a month.
That's not terrible. The only problem is they Impact tapes so far ahead.
Well,
they're taping several weeks of television, right? Over the last several days. So like they might be taping till maybe close to the end of the year.
3 to 6 weeks. 3 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, that sucks for him, man. That really sucks.
Somebody thought it was a hamstring. I'm like, no, the way he was. Now it makes sense that they say it's a hernia because he was like kind of hunched over with his hand to his side. Like, I had no idea what it was at first, and now that makes complete sense. Reading that they thought it was a hernia. Heath did tweet, "This sucks. I'm sorry to everyone, but big thanks to Rhino." And
see, I hated the finish of the match because there was no Heath, and Josh didn't even acknowledge the fact that Heath had won the contract. And I'm just like, what? Why? What's up with this anticlimactic bullshit?
Yeah.
And
all they were yelling was that Rhino still had a job.
Yeah. And I'm like that. I'm like, that's wrong. Like, they both get a job now. That means Heath gets his contract. And like, they're not even fucking touching on it. What the hell? So like, I was annoyed about that. But that injuries can't be helped. You just kind of had to deal with it. Impact had to deal with the hand they were dealt. But I mean, like, 2 things in a row. Like, I was just like, between Heath retaining and Heath not getting the story payoff that I wanted to see. I was kind of really sour on this show 2 matches in.
Next up is the cinematic match between EC3 and Moose.
That's something.
Huh?
this was something.
I thought it was really well done.
I don't know what something is, but it was something.
I thought it was really well done. I thought the music was great. I also thought EC3 was the new leader of Retribution.
A lot better than what they're dealing with right now.
I thought the ending was interesting when he was going for the 1%er and had all the flashbacks and then just laid there for Moose to finish him off. So I thought overall it was just an interesting just an interesting match.
To me, it was what it was. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. Like I feel like I've mentioned this on the show already. This year, I'm over the cinematic match.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like unless it has to do with Matt Hardy's, broken universe, like the Elite Deletion at Full Gear. I'm sure it's being filmed at the Hardy compound.
Yep.
So like I know that's gonna be great, but all these the cinematic matches, just trying to capitalize off of what happened at WrestleMania, like I'm done. Like I'm fucking over the cinematic match. It's time to freaking, let the thing die in 2020.
Matt is saying. Will you stop? That's what Matt is saying right now.
I am. I'm asking them to stop with that stupid match.
So everything all aside, that it was good, it was entertaining, a great atmosphere. I enjoyed it. I just don't know what they were accomplishing with it.
Yeah, I don't really understand what the accomplishment was either.
Because Moose is still acting the same.
Yeah, Moose is still acting like the TNA champion that wants everything to be handed to him. Like to me, like his character did not change at all tonight,
and it's
from what we've already seen from him this year.
Yeah, and it should have.
Yeah, no, I agree. We should have seen a noticeable change in his character tonight, and he really just reverted back to the same Moose that we saw prior to EC3 showing up at Slammiversary.
Yeah,
like because the Moose we've seen for the last several months has just been scaredy cat running looking for his stupid title moves. But I mean, this was the same Moose that was before Slammiversary when EC3 showed up. So EC3 didn't do anything. He didn't change a damn thing. Moose is still the same Moose he was before EC3 showed up. So like, I don't understand what they were trying to accomplish with this at all. I don't get it.
Yeah. Next up after that was Ken Shamrock against Eddie Edwards. Good solid little match there. No surprise, the guy going into the Hall of Fame gets the win. It's not like Eddie Edwards can afford a loss too. It's not going to hurt him too much. 4-way for the Impact Tag Team Championships. Damn good match as always. Maybe a surprise with the winner, thanks to a belt shot by Ethan Page hitting Carl Anderson. The North surprisingly come out on top. Now, I said this on Twitter.
Hated this.
I said it on Twitter. I go, I think it might have been on Twitter, it might have been on the show last week. I said, I did predict the Good Brothers to win last week on the show, but I said, if they don't win, it's not the end of the world, because I think it'd be more meaningful if they won in a one-on-one match against the North. And the North are now titled tag team champions. I think it's going to mean more when the Good Brothers beat the North eventually.
I hated the fact we didn't even get the machine guns in this match.
Yeah,
because I still don't understand what the story with Shelley is, because he was on Impact tonight. So I don't know what the deal with him is.
It must have been kayfabe. Must have just been kayfabe.
Well, it was a terrible kayfabe decision.
Yeah, where
to take him out of the match. I didn't like the fact that the Good Brothers took the fucking pinfall in this match either. If they didn't want to pin Sabin, they could have pinned Dollar Store Matt Taven and put the titles back on the North that way. But dude, I'm sick of the fucking North. Like, I was sick of their title run to begin with. I was happy they were off of them. I was hoping they would move on to something else, and we're right back stuck again on the fucking North again. And I'm sorry, but from besides a little small section of little North marks that think they're so fucking great. They're a bland, boring fucking ass tag team. And I know Ethan Page's Impact deal's up in a few months. I hope he doesn't resign just so we can get rid of this fucking tag team once and for all. Fight me. You don't like it? Fight me. Internet. I don't fucking care. I think the North fucking suck. Clip that audio.
I think Ethan Page is great.
I think he's overrated. I think he's overrated.
Or maybe good. Maybe I should say good, not great.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's not great.
He's good on the mic. He's good in the ring. He's good. Good.
He's a good hand.
He's a good hand.
That's what Ethan Page is, pal. He's a good hand.
I was thinking the same thing. So
you understand why I didn't like the Bound for Glory pay-per-view yet?
Yeah, no, I know. I know, but at the same time, like, I get the tag team booking because I think it's more meaningful if Good Brothers take it off the North.
Carl didn't need to do the job then. But
it was a belt shot, so it was. It's not like he lost clean.
Still hated it.
Mike Johnson says the Alex Shelley injury angle was a legitimate issue due to one, but does not
elaborate.
Yeah. Tommy Dreamer had a broken tooth. Storm was not there on the 25th, 2 days ago, but he was at yesterday's taping. There are tapings set for the 17th. So Heath can
November?
Yeah.
Oh, that should be enough time.
Yeah, Heath will just hide like he did tonight on Impact. He'll hide the fact that he has an injury. That's exactly what they were doing. Was hiding the fact that because remember they were going to walk off, but he said, "No, wait a minute."
Yeah, because he has to sign the contract next week.
Yeah, well,
he's kind of worried that they're going to try to take away his contract because he's hurt.
Yeah, that's the story they're going to play out of it, which is cool. I mean, it makes for a good story to come out of that unfortunate situation. So, but yeah, if you notice at the end of that interview tonight on Impact. Rhino's like, let's go, and Heath is like, no, not yet, because it would have shown that that he was injured. So, Kylie Ray, word at first was that she no-showed, but now I think it later on came out that she was just dealing with mental health issues. That's all I see of it right now.
And I'm going to assume mental health issues was the same reason she left AEW.
Possibly.
And here's the problem. There's a lot of people out there that have mental health problems. Myself included. But if you're in that position, you have to do it. You've already potentially burned the bridge with AEW. You can't tell me that Impact is happy with her right now.
Yeah.
I don't care if Impact understood or whatever. But you can't tell me and allow me to believe that Impact is happy with Kylie Ray right now.
Mike Johnson said on PW Insider on Sunday. Or Monday afternoon, sorry. What is today?
Today is Tuesday night, sir. Recording for Wednesday's show.
Oh, so this was known before the show that she was not going to compete.
Well, Impact Management knew. No one else did.
Well, Mike posted this the pay-per-view was on Saturday. So
Saturday.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Sunday afternoons when Mike put this, he says that no one is going on record out of respect for Kylie. She is still with the company and is in good standing and will return when she's able to. So it sounds like Impact is not.
To me, good standing means they're not looking to fire her.
Yeah,
but don't tell me there's not heat. There's some heat on her.
Yeah,
for
probably.
this.
Yeah, and you got an easy storyline with Sue Young that you could use to play around this. So Hell, in the end, you got husband and wife champion walking out.
Here's the way I look at it. If Impact was not upset with Kylie Ray, there's no reason to take the title off Deonna Purrazzo on Saturday. They could have waited for Kylie to be fine in the head, and they could have, because clearly the plan was for Kylie to win the title Bound for Glory.
Yeah.
So if really there was no ill will with management, they could have easily just had Deonna defend the title against whoever, retain, and drop the title to Kylie when Kylie was good to go. The fact that they chose to just put the title on somebody else says all I need to know about how management feels about Kylie Ray right now.
Yeah, because they're probably going to do that lawyer angle with Kylie Ray.
I don't know if they were going to do that. I think that was a rewrite. I do know they had. I do know Impact had several rewrites to this week's TV tapings due to Heath's injury and Kylie Ray's non-appearance on the show. I think that entire storyline was written over this weekend.
But hey, you got a husband and wife walking out as champs, and tomorrow night might have husband and wife walking out as champs too.
What you talking about, JB?
Halloween Havoc. I'm thinking Candice and Johnny win their titles.
I don't know about all that.
After the Knockouts match, they announced that at Hard to Kill on January 16th, the return of the Knockouts Tag Team Championships will officially happen in 3 weeks. An 8-team tournament is going to start. Boy, we called that one on the show about a month ago, didn't we, Matt?
Dude, we've been calling for this for months.
Yep.
And honestly, what they should have done is that Eric Young should have been knocked loopy at the pay-per-view. Like, in the quote-unquote world-class Maniac should have been gone. Like, they should have knocked him, like, loopy and did a storyline like Eric Young's got a concussion or whatever. And when he comes back, he's the same fucking crazy-ass Eric Young from, like, years ago. Because if you remember, the last Impact Knockout Tag Team Champions were Eric Young and ODB.
Oh, yeah.
So I could have seen him coming back with the titles, and they could have brought ODB in for a few shots.
Yeah.
And just, we're the champions. And they could have done it. They could have done a play off that. I think that would have been very funny and entertaining. But they chose to have a rematch immediately tonight for I can't even begin to explain their logic behind what they did to open the show tonight, but whatever.
What'd you think of the main event? Swan and Eric Young.
No, I to me it was the best thing on the show. And the right guy went over. So
yeah, we've been predicting that for months too.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird that he hugged the referee. That was unique.
Dude, sometimes you just overcome with emotion. You just need to hug somebody.
Gotta hug somebody.
No one was out there to get his hug on yet. So hug the referee. Why the hell not?
And of course, as you see behind me, a lot of the locker room, a lot of the baby faces came out to congratulate your new Impact World Champion, Rich Swann. So yeah, as Matt said, Impact kicks off with Rich Swann in the back, EY attacking him from behind, and they had themselves quite a fight all around the ring. And finally, it's like, God, it took that long for security to break that up. Scott D'Amore comes out, and EY is demanding a title match now. Scott's like, "Go fuck yourself." Swann says, "Let's do it." So they do it, and it was actually a pretty quick match with.
It was really quick.
Yeah, Swann getting the win there. Havoc backstage telling Nevaeh that he's back and the wedding is on. We all know who he is. All the knockouts trying to get into that management office to get in line for the knockout tag team titles. And Caleb with the K says that the tournament starts in 3 weeks. Tasha Steeles and Kiera Hogan started talking shit to Alicia Edwards, and Jordan Grace decided to back her up. This is like Killian Dane and Killian Dane and Drake Maverick, isn't it?
Oh boy.
Minus the whistling tune. But Jordan Grace stepping up for Alicia, and so we'll have a tag match there later. Hardcore Halloween match between Dreamer and Brian Myers. This was fun. Very solid match between these two guys, and only Dreamer could think of putting candy corn in a bag of thumbtacks, Matt.
Happy Halloween.
And props to both Tommy Dreamer and the cameraman for not revealing Swoggle inside of the trash can when Dreamer put the can in the ring. I did not expect Swoggle to be in there. I thought he was.
They're definitely getting their use out of Swoggle the past couple of days.
I thought Dreamer was kayfabe the weight on that trash can. You know, like they like to do, like the steel steps or something. You know how the WWE likes to kayfabe the weight on things.
Yeah.
Nope. There's a grown ass little guy in there. Dreamer gets the win with the Spicoli driver through a table after Swoggle was revealed and took the barbecue tongs to the most professional nuts in pro wrestling. And so Dreamer gets the win there. We already talked about Gia interviewing Rhino and Heath. Heath denying he had an injury, but you could tell he was hurt, and you could tell they were covering it up. Follow Ball gets shaken down, but says he doesn't have the money. Johnny Bravo stole the money. Which, I just realized they didn't even follow up with that at the wedding. Like Hernandez didn't even show up, Matt.
Oh well.
Doesn't matter now because, well, Groom's dead. We'll get to that in a minute. Follow Ball had the money down his pants too. You can keep it there, Follow. Keep it. Triple XL took on the Rascals. It looks like probably in the short term, maybe Triple XL might be facing the North in between now and Hard to Kill. It seems like they're going that way. I don't know how long Shelly's going to be out though. So we'll see what happens there. Deanna Purrazzo and Kimber Lee had a not a lawyer, but a barrister. I called him a barista. That was threatening to shut down Impact. No Cred Ed's got money. He would take that lawyer to school. Maybe. I don't know. Scott D'Amore was not at all threatened. They said he had to the end of the show to announce that Deanna's the new champion, and Scott said, well, I could just give you my decision right now in the ring. So there we are in the ring. And D'Amore was playing hardball, saying, well, this might take 5 or 7 years to get this resolved, or you could just face Su Yung next week. And so after further deliberation, they decided to accept D'Amore's offer. And then Su Yung came out and mandible claws for everybody.
Even D'Amore got a face full of mist. So sorry about his damn luck.
Yeah, old D'Amore he's taken some shots lately. Rich Swann in the back with Willie Mack and the Rascals. Swann was talking about how he was supposed to be celebrating, but the champion never gets a night off, which is true. Moose shows up and basically claims that holding that title means you're the number 2 guy in the company because Moose is the number 1 guy in the company. Yeah, again, Matt, there's no change in Moose here.
Yeah. Not at all.
Then Swann enters another room where Sami Callihan and Ken Shamrock are waiting. So I'm going to guess we're going to get a world title shot at Ken Shamrock and Rich Swann defeating a Hall of Famer, Matt.
Oh, yay.
I'm going to guess that's what's going to happen.
Oh, yay.
And we had We had a pull apart brawl after Gallows mocked Ethan Page for being a karate guy. Rohit and Jimmy Jacobs backstage makes it all sound like we're probably going to get a TJP Rohit match soon here, is my guess. Falaba dressed as the...
I don't care.
Falaba dressed as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
That might have been the highlight of Impact tonight.
And Johnny Swinger came by and called him a mark. That tag match, Tasha Steelz, Kiera Hogan, Alicia Edwards, Jordan Grace. The more seasoned team of Steelz and Hogan got the win, pinning Alicia Edwards, and Jordan Grace was not happy about it. So either Alicia's going to have to kiss a lot of ass or that team is done. One of the two.
I'm going to say that team's done.
I called out a great spine buster by Tasha Steelz and said it was Carl Anderson approved, and he agreed with me. So cheers. Willie Mack outside. A fan asked him to do a video shout out for his nephew's birthday. He was starting to do that when Moose attacked him with the TNA belt and stole the phone. What a thief.
Like, I was really hoping the whole end of the EC3 thing would be to get rid of the stupid TNA title.
Yeah, like he was going to destroy it.
Yeah, and it's still fucking there. Okay.
We have
Okay.
the demon wedding, and welcome back, Father James Mitchell. I thought it was a pretty cool setup. Did you notice who was at ringside, Matt?
To be perfectly honest, I wasn't paying enough attention, so no, I did not notice.
You should have been looking, because you would have seen in attendance at the wedding the legendary Ray Strack and Tim Burr. Tim Burr was also in attendance. No word if Gymnasium was there or Bill Ding, but
I hate you so much.
But the two MVPs of Ray Strack and Tim Burr were in attendance for the wedding. I immediately thought the lights were going to go out when they were going to kiss, and they did. But little did I know that we were going to hear a gunshot, and Johnny Bravo is shot dead. Well, I'm assuming he's dead.
It's kind of annoying there was like no medics rushing out to freaking check on this poor man.
Yeah.
Just fucking Tommy Dreamer.
Just yeah.
Like what the hell, guys?
Who yells, "Who shot Bravo?" A little Dallas, a little nod to the Dallas "Who shot JR" days, which obviously that got the world a talking. So hey, a little Cliffy hanger.
The problem is, look, and people feel free to tweet at me if I'm wrong. But does anybody really give a flying fuck about Bravo? Like, is this really going to be a storyline that people are going to give a shit about?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see who did it.
But. Look, who shot JR, like you said, got everybody talking. Who shot Mr. Burns, got everybody talking. Who shot Johnny Bravo? Who the fuck cares? Maybe I care more if this was the Cartoon Network version of Johnny Bravo. maybe I care if someone shot him. Maybe I'd be interested to find out who killed Johnny Bravo, one-man army. Oh. But it's not Johnny Bravo. It's this Johnny Bravo. I just don't fucking care. I'm sorry. I just don't care.
It's just a continuation of the Wrestle House drama. So
I suppose.
I
wish they were back in Wrestle House.
Yeah, I wonder if Father James Mitchell can take him to the undead realm and revive him.
I'm sure that's where it's going.
He'll probably be like a demon. He'll probably be like Crazy Steve or some weirdo, So yeah, Impact ends on a Cliffy hanger. Yeah. Oh yeah. Mike Johnson himself says this probably leads to a return to the undead realm. They could maybe say hi to Kylie Ray while they're at it. That's where she's at right now.
Honestly, that's what they should end up doing with that. Like, I don't know what they're gonna end up doing for storyline wise to explain why she wasn't there, but that's exactly what they should do. Should be that Su Young took Kylie Ray to the Undead Realm, and that's why she wasn't there for the title shot. At least make a feasible storyline out of this for it to make sense when everything gets back to the way it needs to be.
Yeah. And also when Tommy Jeremy yelled no, that was a nod to Bruce Campbell in Evil Dead, by the way. Some notes on the wedding from Mike Johnson. The guy that played the lawyer tonight also wrote and produced the wedding. Fun little fact. Next week on Impact, tag match: Rich Swann, Eddie Edwards take on Ken Shamrock and Sami Callihan. Knockouts championship on the line: Su Young and Deonna Purrazzo, which should be a great match. Chris Bay against Trey Miguel. And in singles competition, Ethan Page and Doc Gallows. And on the following day, this past weekend, Hell in a Cell taking place at the Thunderdome. Kickoff show, R-Truth beat Drew Gulak in a quick match for the 24/7 title. And we kick things off with what's been a tremendous story between Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, and that story continued to evolve, and I thought it was great storytelling of what they did in the match.
Such good shit.
It's like the best by far of storytelling they've done this year, isn't it?
I'm not arguing.
Jay was about to about to get his head bashed in by some steel stairs when Jimmy Uso came in and tried to plead with Reigns to just leave as a family together, but Reigns wasn't having any of that and put Jimmy in a chokehold. And as Jay came to and saw Jimmy gasping for his life, Jay finally said, "I quit." And they kind of backed off of "you're out of the family" as a stipulation, and more to they were going to be indentured servants to Roman Reigns if Jay would have lost the match.
Well, no, the whole storyline was they were going to be servants to Roman,
and if they
refused,
they're out of the family.
They're out of the family.
See, SmackDown, the way they said it on SmackDown was confusing. So, but that got cleaned up, so we all know what it means now. But a hell of a match, man. Went pretty long. Some great storytelling there. I loved it.
Pretty cool. Went long, but it did not feel as long as it was.
No, it was intense. It was exciting.
I thought it was very well done. Like I was actually very surprised when I looked at the clock when the match was over and realized, like, oh damn, that was really fucking long. But like I didn't know that while I was watching it because the story was so good.
Mm-hmm.
That I didn't care about how long it was.
Another nice touch. Roman's father Sika and Uncle Alpha were on the top of the stage, and
they
put the red lei around the tribal chief, while Jimmy and Jay looked completely distraught. Obviously, they're going to be reluctant, but they'll fall in line and turn heel eventually, and we'll see where it goes. I think that's what The Rock's got to get involved here eventually. Has to.
I agree.
What to me felt like any non-Hell in a Cell match was like something they threw together on Raw, and that was kind of what happened, in my opinion, with Jeff Hardy and Elias ending in a DQ. It's like,
what a waste of time.
You're ending in a DQ on a pay-per-view. Okay. So yeah, basically everything that was not Hell in a Cell was just a something you could have easily seen on in any given episode of Monday Night Raw. Except Miz and Otis ended in a way that I don't think anybody fucking expected when Tucker turned on Otis. I don't think anybody saw that coming. I expected Miz to not. I predicted Miz to win, and I expected it to not be clean. But yeah, Tucky turning on Otis. And then mysteriously, Tucky is on SmackDown roster now, Matt.
I heard that was an error and that he's actually still on Raw, but who the fuck knows?
I still think Otis. I bet you there's going to be a Tucker versus Otis match. And if Otis wins, he gets to move to Raw to be with his peach.
I think SmackDown should just trade him to Raw and get something decent in return. Just don't do like the last two dumb trades where they sent Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke over to Raw for absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Apparently the executives at Fox are fucking dumb.
Another great Hell in a Cell match. Again, like I said, all the Hell in a Cell matches were well put together leading up to it, and all three Hell in a Cell matches I thought delivered on Sunday night. And Bayley and Sasha just tore it down. This was a fucking good match. No surprise. We all figured Sasha was going to win. I think it was a nice touch putting Bayley in the chair and then using her foot to just stomp on the chair while she has the bank statement in. I thought that was a real unique finish and just a tremendous match to end a great feud. Matt, you agree?
This is my favorite thing on the show. I loved it, and I don't think the feud's done. I think it's just getting started.
Yeah, I think Bayley's going to be a little more psychotic going forward now that she doesn't have that belt.
It's going to be good.
For the love of God, can Sasha get a title defense, though?
That's what she needs. She needs a successful title defense.
God, how many times has she been champion? About 5 or 6 now?
Probably about that on the main roster.
And has never successfully defended the title ever, which is just out weird. Yeah, 5 Raw, and of course they mentioned it on the pay-per-view. It was their first time winning the SmackDown title. And one with NXT as well. And again, something you could see on any given Monday Night Raw, Bobby Lashley and Slapdick for the United States Championship. This went 4 minutes. The continuous jobbing of Retribution, they got jobbed like that first match, and I'm like, okay, hey, at least there was a good promo by Ali. This could turn around. And then Hell in a Cell and Raw this week, they're still getting jobbed. It's like, what are they doing, Matt? Is Vince killing this thing because he realizes it's just not good, or does he think it's
such good shit?
Dude, it's over. And like seriously, if you're a Retribution fan or even just a fan of the talent that's in the group in general and not necessarily a Retribution fan, and you're holding out hope that something's gonna come along and fix this group, stop, just let it go. Let go of the hope. This group is fucking dead. It's done. It's over. Kaput.
Yep, you could have bounced
Let
back.
It go.
You could have bounced back from last week's Monday Night Raw first, or whatever the first match was, maybe 2 weeks ago. Could have bounced back from that, but it's been loss after loss after loss, and even another loss on Monday, the night after Hell in a Cell.
They weren't even willing to wait for the pay-per-view to do the Survivor Series style Hurt Business versus Retribution match. They gave it away on Raw.
Yeah, they're like,
that should tell you everything you need to know about how they feel about the future of that group.
They're like, nah, we're going to have a very predictable qualifying set of matches. We're going to have a very predictable set of matches to form a team like we always do, instead of have Retribution and Hurt Business with +1s, which I would have probably gave to Ricochet and,
Well, they've got 4 women and 4 men and a woman, and in the Hurt Business got 4 men, and they could get Naomi.
Yeah.
And there you go. And that's what I thought they were going to end up doing for Survivor Series, and I thought the group would be killed off at Survivor Series. But the fact that they did a Survivor Series match on Raw says to me, like, they're not doing that match at Survivor Series. Like, this group is already fucking dead.
And what the hell was Mia doing? It reminded me of Tommy Boy. Bees.
It was so fucking bad, dude.
Main event: Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre. If it wasn't for Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, this would probably be the feud of the year. And this was a good match. I always love when you go to the top of the cage. Didn't really do much on the top of the cage, but I always love when
it was a fucking waste of time.
Yeah, I still love when they go
with Randy Orton and his little lightsaber lead pipe.
It was more of a ruse to get Drew off his game, and then he would fall halfway off the cage through a table. But a good match nonetheless. Randy Orton, your champion.
Which they only did because they didn't want to do Drew versus Roman at Survivor Series. Yeah. I would put any amount of money on the fact that they didn't want to do Drew and Roman, so they threw the title on Randy, so Randy could take the loss to Roman.
And it's not going to hurt him.
And then Randy's going to drop the title back to Drew afterward.
Or like Drew's going to screw him in that match. Hit a Claymore or something.
Because I still feel like we're getting Orton and Edge at Mania next year, and that doesn't need the title.
Oh no, Miz will cash in before that.
Yeah, so like there's no reason to.
So even if Drew doesn't,
of course, they should finish the Edge Orton story, but there's no reason for that to have the WWE Championship involved in that. Like absolutely not. Because if you're already going to do Roman and Rock, and I don't see Roman dropping the title until Mania, so you're already going to have a part-timer in there going for the Universal title. You don't need Edge, who from the way we could tell anyway, is not going to be a full-time competitor. We don't need Edge competing for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but at the same time, it'd be cool to have him get the title one more time.
No, he doesn't need to do it at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
If he's going to be around for a while, you can put the title on him at another time.
So Randy, 14-time champion now. A decent show, like I said. It was the Hell in a Cell matches were good, great, actually. All three of them were great, had great builds, and the other things were things you could see on any given Raw that gets 100.5 million viewers. So, speaking of Monday Night Raw, the very next night, they already had teased that Randy Orton was going to be on a Moment of Bliss. And we kicked things off with Drew McIntyre, who's actually pretty upbeat, even though he lost the title. And then Miz and Morrison come and make jokes, and Drew beats him up. AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy with Big Jordan.
I bet John Morrison's so happy he chose to sign that WWE deal instead of going to AEW. What a great decision he made. It's like, good job, Johnny Jib Drip.
He's like the better looking comedic act. He's like the equivalent of Otis, but better looking.
Dude needs his beard back too. He looks ridiculous without his beard.
It's just a comedy act. It's basically Otis, with a better looking, more in shape guy. AJ Styles with Jordan Omogaben. Seriously, man, Vince, come on. The obvious name is right there in your face. You don't even have to send me a check, but I would take it. But come on, Jordan Towers. Right there. Piece of cake. AJ Jeff Hardy for a qualifier Survivor Series. AJ gets the win there. No surprise. He's been undefeated since coming back to Raw. And then after the match, Elias shows up and hits Jeff Hardy in the back with a guitar. Oh, we're heading towards a guitar on a pole match, aren't we, Matt?
I wish we weren't. Like this, there's no need for this feud to even be happening. Because if Elias just watched the fucking television product, he would know that Jeff Hardy wasn't the one that fucking ran him over with the fucking car this summer. This makes Elias a fucking moron. Like, there's no other kind way to describe Elias right now other than he's a fucking moron. It's so bad, dude. It's so bad.
Firefly Funhouse, poor rabbit got fed arsenic. That didn't end well for him.
Dude, that rabbit's fucking. He's just Kenny.
Yep.
He's just Kenny he's Kenny from South Park.
I said that like on the third episode of the Firefly Funhouse.
I mean that's all he is assigned to be at this point.
Interesting. That Wyatt mentioned how Orton and Drew McIntyre at Hell in a Cell, they burnt the house down. A little flashback to the Wyatt Orton feud where Randy Orton was an arsonist.
Well, actually, Bliss said that.
Oh, did she? Yeah.
In the main event segment, Orton's like, "Oh, there it is. That's what we're talking about." And because they mentioned something about Orton being the champion, and Bray was like, "Yeah, Orton," and he was just standing there with behind him was the painting of his home being on fire.
Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna end up getting a triple threat with the Fiend, Drew, and Randy after Survivor Series.
Yeah,
because heaven forbid if we can't just continue the fucking brand storylines going into Survivor Series. We have to do this brand supremacy bullshit.
The one time that Raw and SmackDown go head to head.
And honest to God, if they have to fucking do this garbage ass story every fucking year, here's an idea, Vince. Don't do the WWE draft until after Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see Raw versus SmackDown matches right after you were supposed to do a new draft to freaking split these groups up. It's so fucking stupid.
So we're gonna hear 3 weeks of the one night of the year where Raw and SmackDown go head to head. Oh, remember when NXT was in on that last year? Yeah. They did briefly gloss over that that Matt Riddle was in the Survivor Series match last year. They did gloss that over, but now all of a sudden NXT is not even involved in Survivor Series, so yeah. Keith Lee took on an Elias for a Survivor Series qualifying match. Gee, who's going to win that? Obviously Keith Lee, thanks to some interference from Jeff Hardy's music. I love it how music, you don't see the guy, but just the music distracts you. Charlie Caruso asked Orton if he was concerned that the Fiend may show up on a Moment of Bliss, and Randy ain't no scared of no Fiend.
Whatever, Randy, just shut up.
Then we got that Survivor Series elimination match where Retribution got jobbed.
And no one cared.
Speaking of jobbed, if you get the Money in the Bank briefcase, that's what you're going to do, and that's what Miz did to Drew McIntyre in about 5 minutes. And what's with the random weird legends and celebrities in the virtual crowd?
WWE thinks it's cool. I mean, it was cool when they were doing it during the NBA playoffs, but this is just lame.
I mean, it makes sense when Big E's on the screen for a New Day match, but like Ric Flair ain't sitting in front of his computer during Raw. This was recorded, and they just played the recording. Same with Matthew McConaughey this week. He's not sitting there watching Raw live on his computer. No. Hey, what's even worse is when they fucking zoom in on it and you can't even see shit. You can't see a clear picture until you're several feet away. But they zoom in on it like we can, oh, I know who that is. Yeah, it's a bunch of fucking dots.
Pixelation hell.
The New Day dressed as the Street Profits and acting like the Street Profits. That was funny shit. That was good shit, pal.
Decane.
Decay.
We had the Kane on Raw.
He wants that King of the Ring title.
Hey, as long as it's not on Corbin anymore, I'm all for it.
And the New Day, it's kind of funny. They were imitating the Street Profits, and then they did what the Street Profits used to do when they debuted on Raw, like doing the recaps and rundowns and stuff. And so that was kind of funny how the New Day was doing that, running down the card on for Survivor Series. And I thought Asuka was great with New Day, Matt. She filled in for Big E.
Dude, Asuka's entertaining as fuck, man.
She is. She filled in for Big E. That was hilarious. So yes, champion versus champion. The one night of the year that Raw and SmackDown go head to head.
Rune.
So Orton and Reigns, Banks and Asuka, Profits and New Day, Sami Zayn and Lashley.
Yeah, I feel like we already have more matches signed for Survivor Series than we had going into Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, we only had 5, and they added the 6 with the Hurt Business and Retribution at the end, which went 3 minutes.
Oh, boy.
Fatal 4-way. Winner of this match joins the ladies in the Survivor Series traditional match, which already has 2 tag teams in it. Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler. And again, pulling one out of her ass was Lana. Got a hug from Nia Jax, but we all knew it was coming, right, Matt?
It's so just... It's so fucking dumb at this point.
6th week in a row, Lana goes through a table. Oh, when did Miro debut?
Rusev Day.
Sheamus versus Matt Riddle. This was a good fucking match. Probably the best match on the show.
Yeah, it was probably the best time on the show.
Yeah, it was. I loved it. It was good shit, pal. This was also for a spot on the team, and Sheamus gets the win there. Then we got a moment of bliss. And I thought Bliss did a tremendous job here. She's been doing a hell of a job as somebody had mentioned she's a lot like Harley Quinn. I can kind of see that.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Joker Harley Quinn comparisons to the Fiend and Bliss lately.
And of course, Bliss like literally had her hair dyed like Harley Quinn for a long time when she was wrestling solo.
When she first got brought up to the main roster.
Yeah. Drew McIntyre's music hits. It wasn't the Fiend. They start fighting like they always do. Then I'm like, yep. Sitting there when Drew's loading up the Claymore, I'm like, yep, here come the lights. And sure enough, there they were. And Orton had bailed like a little bitch. But the Fiend was right behind him. Orton never turned around. Instead, decided to go forward and fight with Drew McIntyre again. I thought that was kind of interesting. Instead of so there wasn't even any interaction at all. Orton just does not turn around and goes forward to fight Drew some more. So I thought that was cool. Show goes off the air with those two fighting, and apparently off the air, it aired in Canada, but it didn't air in the U.S. But apparently.
Apparently, Drew McIntyre loved Eddie Kingston's commentary on AEW Dynamite last week.
Yeah, which was?
He said that he got into a fight with somebody and stabbed him in the eyeball with a pen.
And off the air in the U.S., but on the air in Canada, Drew had stabbed Randy with a pin in the eye. What is with WWE's fetish with stabbing eyeballs this year, man?
Man, dude, this all started back in the Attitude Era. We're dark the thorn in your eye.
Yeah. But we have old Seth Rollins and Murphy and all that. Again, just a so-so episode of Raw, maybe a little better than average, but I mean, average for Raw is
I didn't think it was that good.
It was long.
It was long, I'll tell you. It's definitely long.
I think Randy and Orton, yeah. Randy and Drew and Fiend, that was good. Obviously, Sheamus and Riddle was good. All the other matches were so predictable. I mean, granted, the going into it, the Retribution match wasn't predictable. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe this is where they turn it around. No. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. What a ride.
Thanks. Thanks, Vince. Dynamite I already talked about on last week's show, but we'll come over it a little bit here with Matt. Were you surprised with Wardlow Jungle Boy at all?
No.
Nope.
There's nothing in the first round that surprised me at all.
Yeah.
Like, we already know what the finals is. So
Yeah. How about Justin Roberts' introduction to Kenny Omega?
that was something.
And then two ladies with brooms, and we're like, oh, the cleaner's back. No, not yet, but probably Full Gear. We'll get the cleaner. We'll get full on cleaner at Full Gear, right, Matt?
Oh, absolutely. The cleaner's back.
Justin Roberts' introduction was the mega champion of AAA, PWI's 500 number one wrestler in the world, Wrestling Observer Wrestler of the Year in 2018, Sports Illustrated Wrestler of the Year in 2017. He has broken the Meltzer 5-star scale 7 times and has both the highest rated singles and tag matches of all time. He is so fluent in Japanese that sometimes he translates for Michael Nakazawa. So obnoxious, it's great.
I loved it.
Penta and Ray, fucking great, huh?
Yeah, I wish Phoenix wouldn't have gotten fucking hurt because I didn't really want to see Omega and Penta again.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I've seen that enough. I was really looking forward to Omega and Phoenix, and now we're not getting that.
How about Le Dinner Debonair with Chris Jericho and MJF?
My shadow and me.
The fucking WWE marks. If WWE would have done it, you would have trashed it. I'd be like, yeah, I would have trashed it because
they wouldn't have done it right.
This was well done. This was fucking funny.
Dude, and if WWE would have done it exactly like we saw it on Dynamite, I wouldn't have trashed it at all.
No.
But WWE would have done something stupid, and they would have made it bad. Because that's just what their creative team does.
I loved how MJF and Jericho tried to out-rare their steaks.
Look, all I know is...
Who the fuck orders their steak blue?
Look, who the fuck orders their steak well done? Like, that was the tried and true definition of being a heel, was when MJF ordered his steak well done.
I was fully expecting...
20-ounce porterhouse, well done. Fuck you, MJF. I hate you for that.
I was fully expecting him to ask for a side of ketchup, too.
A1.
Because who the fuck puts ketchup on steak?
JR's barbecue sauce.
My God!
Sauce it.
I love when they dip the ladies and then just drop them. Oh, that was so good. So good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny how this preview for Dynamite's already out of date, so I got to go to the other one. Because Omega ain't facing Phoenix, and Takehashi and Abaddon's not happening because of what happened in that match.
I wonder how much of that match happened before the injury happened.
Yeah.
I hear she's fine.
Good.
But apparently it was a pretty scary situation when it happened.
Okay, thankfully I thought of this because of Abaddon. I thought of this, and I mentioned this, and I said on the show that I was going to talk to you about this and get your thoughts on it. To me, I think the AEW ranking system is a joke right now. They never use it. And all of a sudden, like Abaddon was third. She's never hardly been on Dynamite. These are
I think she's been on Dynamite one time.
It's all dark. They're not even, I mean, they did this bingo wheel to determine the 4 people in this tournament. Hello, you got rankings. That they have
I didn't understand why they didn't do 2 through 5.
But that's not even
4 teams, because 2 of the 4 teams that ended up in that match were in the top 5. The Butcher and the Blade and the Young Bucks were both in the top 5 already. The only 2, like the Private Party and Silver and Reynolds, were not.
But these are just a few of the many instances that they've really disregarded the rankings.
Look, what I would like them to do in 2021, honestly, keep the win-loss record intact, but just drop the rankings.
Yeah,
like, because if you're not gonna follow your own ranking system, it's not worth having. So, like, I like the win-loss record. Don't get rid of the win-loss record.
No.
But the whole ranking thing, just get quietly. Even if you don't want to admit it didn't work, then just quietly get rid of it when the calendar year turns 2021 and don't burn it up anymore. Because you're right. If you're not going to utilize the rankings, there's no point. There's no point in having the rankings.
Dynamite updated preview. Your 2 semifinal matches, Paige and Wardlow, which I think will be damn good. Because I mean, if you haven't been paying attention, Wardlow is a good talent in that ring and gonna be a big. Wardlow could very much be their first homegrown built star.
Yeah, he's gonna be a big deal for them.
And of course, Omega and Penta that we just mentioned, which will be a great match. But yeah, we all wanted Omega and Phoenix because that would have been fun. Speaking of great,
like I said, I feel like I've seen Omega and Penta too many times.
This will be good too. Eddie Kingston against Matt Sydal. I think that's going to be good.
Yeah, that's Matt Sydal's Dynamite debut, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
He's been on a bunch of darks, but he hasn't been on the actual Wednesday night show yet.
And just how good is Eddie Kingston doing right now?
Dude, just think, like 4 months ago, he didn't even have a contract.
I mean,
now he might be main eventing their pay-per-view. I mean,
it's no surprise to us.
There's still a chance that the Bucks and FTR could
main event,
main event Full Gear. But I mean, like, there's a possibility
that almost has to main event Full Gear.
Bucks
just
and
how
FTR.
many years in the making that's been.
I think they should.
Yeah,
I think that should be the main event.
I agree.
But I mean, there's always a chance that it could be Moxley and
is not bad either.
Kingston too. So
it's not bad either. A lot of history there too. So
yeah, plenty of history.
Chris Jericho and MJF are going to have a town hall discussion regarding MJF's entry into the Inner Circle. And lumberjack match for the TNT title, Cody Orange Cassidy. Maybe this is where we you had done this prediction 2 or 3 weeks ago of Cody losing the title, turning heel. Maybe
with us already knowing that the end game's Darby at Full Gear, like, I feel like that's when it's going to happen. I feel like Darby's going to win the title at Full Gear, and that's when Cody's going to snap and turn heel.
I think.
I wish they would have never. I wish they would have never announced that match.
Yeah, tomorrow. I think we get another Broadway. It's triple threat at Full Gear. Because I personally want a triple threat. So it doesn't have to be a Broadway, but however you get to that point, I want Cody, Darby, and Cassidy.
They've never done a disqualification on Dynamite.
Yeah. So it could go Broadway.
If they do that, it would be the first. I don't want another Broadway.
Yeah.
I think people were annoyed enough about the Broadway 2 weeks ago.
I wasn't.
Yeah, but there were a lot of people that were.
Well, I wasn't.
So if they do it again, that could be rough. So
I mean, we've already seen Cody and Darby, so I really want this to be a triple threat.
Man, I don't know, man. I mean, it's possible, but I don't see it happening.
So BTE this week
was phenomenal.
Matt's got the new iPhone F. Literally does not realize what F in the F stands. He knows the F stands for future. Didn't quite know what the consequences of that were. As he takes pictures of his friends and sees what's going to happen to them in the future. Doctor. The Tony Schiavone selfie, though, man. That was tremendous.
That's what you get for breaking his phone and super kicking him in the face.
And then we got our Matt and Nick arguing which tunnel to go out of.
There ya!
He pissed off Frankie Kazarian. Oh man, that was good. I popped. I think it was also kind of a WWE rib a little bit too.
I don't get that because WWE rarely ever does the double tunnel
No,
entrance.
But the heel and face thing and Dark Order Halloween party. Reynolds is dressed as a sexy George Washington, slutty George Washington. And I don't know who the hell Reynolds is dressed as.
I didn't know. Reynolds was George Washington. I didn't know who Silver was.
Or yeah, that's what it. Didn't I say that? I thought I said it that way.
You said I had no idea who Reynolds was.
Oh.
I didn't know who Silver was either. So Mark Show, if you're listening to this, please inform us of who John Silver was supposed to be at the Dark Order Halloween party, because I'm sure you know. So I'm sure somehow you know.
Anna Jay, I don't know what she was. She's just hot. So
she was Zatanna from DC.
Okay. 5 was a good version of the Joker that Reynolds and Silver shit on. 10 comes in as a dollar store version of the Joker, which they think is the best Joker ever. And then Uno comes in as the Riddler. And of course, Stu, don't call me Dick Grayson, comes in as Robin. Well, slutty Robin. That was a female Robin outfit, I think.
Oh, was it a female Robin suit outfit, or was it so small on him that it just looked like a female Robin outfit? Because Silver's like freaking Grayson's freaking huge.
Yeah.
And like that suit just looked like it was 5 times too small for him.
And of course, any fan of Batman knows that Robin is Dick Grayson, and JR likes to say, "Don't call me Dick Grayson." So I thought that was pretty clever, on their part. Then they talk about who's going to win between Peter Avalon and Brandon Cutler. Sammy's like, "This is going to be great on Dynamite." Oh no, this is on Dark. Oh, okay. The Halloween party continues with broken Matt Hardy, and somebody mentioned the word pop. Wait, pause the multiverse. Matt, they disappeared, and Dark Order flipped out. We continue the run for the inaugural BTE Championship, and holy shit, the match between Matt Hardy and Trent took for fucking ever. So we got is this right? Trent, Matt Jackson, and John Silver in the final 3. Is that right, Matt?
I think so.
Yeah, because Matt beat Fuego, and Silver beat who did Silver face? Silver faced Nakazawa. I mean Colt Cabana.
Colt Cabana, yeah.
Who is but holy cow, that Trent won on the 22nd shot. Eddie Kingston cutting a promo on a trick or treat bucket. I mean, I guess that must be the running joke that Eddie Kingston could cut a promo on a phone book or something. You know, I'm guessing that's the running gag, and that's why he's cutting promos on random things. The party continued on with the Dark Order. Leva Bates shows up. I think Nyla Rose showed up. I don't know who that other person was. Sammy Guevara shows up. Private Party tried to show up, but they were denied. Why, Matt?
Why?
Because it's a public party. And there was somebody passed out in the room, and I cannot figure out who it was because they invite Brandon Cutler to come in. He's like, dude, I've been here for the past 3 segments. But there's somebody, I got it screenshotted here. If I could get a good, I'm gonna have to send you this screenshot, Matt. Oh, one I forgot to mention. Jungle Boy. What was it? Jungle Boy showed up, or Wardlow thought it was Jungle Boy dressed as Griff Garrison, but it was actually Griff Garrison dressed as Jungle Boy, if that makes sense. All right, Matt, I'm going to send you this real quick.
Oh, well, there he's Tony Khan officially announced. AEW President Tony Khan announced AEW Women's that was nice typo, Mike Johnson. Has announced NWA Women's Champion Serena Deeb will make her first title defense against Layla Hirsch on Dynamite on October 28th.
Now you see when I trip up sometimes, it's because of.
So
right.
How did they do that?
What do you mean?
They're saying this match is going to be tomorrow on Dynamite.
Well, tomorrow's live.
No, it's not. It's taped.
Oh,
They
you're
taped
right.
it last Thursday.
I was thinking last week was live, but you're right. Or live. I was thinking last week
I
was
wonder
taped,
if she's
live.
actually going to have the title with her. If she
Oh.
does, that's super interesting that they were able to keep that a secret.
Isn't UWN live though? Or is it taped?
I think UWN is live. But maybe it is taped. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I thought it was live. I don't fucking know.
Okay, I sent you a DM of the screenshot of the person passed out at the Dark Order party.
Like, you haven't just asked Marcho this? Like, I'm sure he knows who it was.
Nobody knows.
Did you ask Marcho?
Yes, I'm pretty sure I did. I even asked Griff Garrison, but he never replied back.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a mystery, man. Then we end with the FTR Bucks montage and Nick helping Matt up as they go to do something. They tease that they're going to do something. I don't know what you have any idea what that's leading to, Matt? Them walking down the hall?
I don't. No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know either. NXT last week kicked off with a tremendous triple threat match between Kushida, Velveteen Dream, and Ciampa. That could have easily been a takeover match, Matt. That was fucking good, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, not hating that. It was good shit, pal.
Right guy won too.
Yeah, for sure.
Undisputed Era cutting a promo with Adam Cole on a tablet. I thought that was kind of funny. And then Halloween Havoc next week. 4 matches announced. Io Shirai, Candice LeRae for the women's title. Damian Priest against Johnny Gargano for the North American. Both will be subject to the spin the wheel, make the deal. Rhea Ripley, Raquel Gonzalez, Cameron Grimes, Dexter Lumis, and a Haunted House of Terror match. So very good card for Halloween Havoc. Matt's not as convinced as I am, but I think husband and wife are walking out with belts. I think Garganos are gonna be holding the belts, man.
And if they do this, I will again just fucking ask, why the fuck didn't you just do it at the pay-per-view?
Which I predicted it to happen at the pay-per-view, but Ember Moon took on.
We'll know after one match what's happening.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
Because whatever match starts first, if there's a title change, both are changing hands. If one doesn't change, neither are changing hands. Yeah. So like we'll know. we will see.
Ember Moon took on Jessica Maya in a short match, then attacked by Dakota Kai. Ember Moon was attacked by Kai after that. Bobby Fish is laid out. Another whodunit, Matt. A mystery attacker. Bronson Reed beat Austin Theory and then beat him again, and then Austin Theory quit. Well, kayfabe quit. Legado del Fantasma took on Isaiah Swerve, Scott, Ashante, The Adonis, and Jake Atlas in a very good 6-man tag match. I am convinced now, Matt, that Swerve's going to take that title off of Escobar.
Another thing that should have happened months ago.
I didn't think it was. I did not predict it at Takeover, but now I feel like the way this is continuing and going, that Swerve's going to take it off of him. That was a hell of a 6-man tag. Killian Dane and Drake Maverick took on the Dollar Store Young Bucks, and Maverick gets DQ'd because he used a chair and was afraid he was going to eat it. I mean, he literally just sat there like, okay, Killian, punch me again. And Dane got excited. That was like the best thing he's ever seen. So the team's coming together, Matt.
Slowly but surely.
Roddy Strong is now laid out. And Regal goes, oh, well, Kyle, you could find a partner. And, it suggested he team up with Lorcan or Birch. And Kyle's like, I'm not really cleared. I'm not really ready to go. I'm going to go to the hospital, check on my guys. Have Lorcan and Birch face them for the title. Regal agreed to it. So it'll be Lorcan and Birch against Breezango in the main event. The continuing story on Xia Li with the mysterious, is that the guy's name that came to the ring a couple weeks ago? Bao, is that his name? B-A-O?
I don't fucking know what his stupid name is. I don't fucking care.
Xia Li looks so afraid that if she doesn't win a match, something bad's going to happen to her. It's interesting to see where that story goes. Casey Catanzaro gets the win there. Timothy Thatcher had another Thatcher's Thatch Can live exhibition. And then the tag titles. Breezango, Orny, and Danny. And a mysterious masked man pushes Fandango off the top rope, and he was going for the leg drop to finish the match. Was it Retribution, Matt? It was
Triple H wouldn't let that shit on his show.
The return of the great Pat McAfee.
Your boy.
Who clearly was the guy behind the Undisputed Era attacks. Probably the guy that hired Ridge Holland before he Sid Vicious his leg. Speaking of which, have you seen the backyard wrestling video making the rounds lately?
I don't want to see it. I've heard about it. I heard somebody did it himself, and I'm like, no, I'm not watching that.
It was like nothing crazy. He just was dropping down off the top turnbuckle after posing. Probably was a shitty ring is probably the cause of it. Yeah, you don't want to watch it, man.
Yeah, I have no desire to see it.
So your new NXT Tag Team Champions, Danny Burch, Oni Lorcan, thanks to Pat McAfee. So was this us thinking the Arrow was going to break up? Was this just in our heads, or do you think NXT?
No, I think they were going to split the Arrow, and I think all the injuries right now across their roster have forced them to just turn the entire Undisputed Era babyface instead. Which honestly, I think long term is going to be the right call for that group.
Well, yeah,
keep them together.
Plus, Triple H saw how many fan favorite teams got broken up in the draft, in the stupid ass draft. New Day, Heavy Machinery.
It's just NXT is without so many of their talents right now, but due to injuries or what have you, it was smart of them to pivot and go this route instead, because it's going to end up being McAfee or Oni in Birch and somebody else against the Undisputed Era in Wall Games.
It was supposed to be Ridge, I bet.
Yeah, of course it was supposed to be Ridge, but it ain't gonna be Ridge now.
Wait, what was that, Matt? And what kind of match?
War Games!
That was a good, the first attempt was a good, very good Regal.
Yes, that's exactly what I was doing. War Games!
I always love when Regal announces War Games every year.
No, so do I. That's why I mimic.
Good NXT episode, which it's been struggling a little bit lately, and with what they've got,
they've been doing their best to try to find their footing.
Yeah. Yep. You know what you're talking about? With BTE, I am gonna message Mark Cho that screenshot, see if he knows. I'm pretty sure I asked him and he didn't know, but I'll see.
To me, if anybody knows, it's him because he always knows. He always somehow knows everything.
Like I seriously, like all the guys that will look at their tweets, like Silver and Griff and Cutler. I mentioned them. I go, hey, who's this guy passed out? We'll see if Cho knows. We'll get to the bottom of it. In NXT this week is Halloween Havoc. And so we already mentioned everything. And Wade Barrett versus Vic Joseph in a costume contest. How great would it be if Barrett shows up?
Yeah, I can't wait not to watch that.
How great will it be if Barrett shows up with a gigantic podium? I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
We're not that lucky, buddy.
You know, what do you think about the spin the wheel and make the deal going? I always hate these things, like Raw Roulette. These things are rigged, pre-taped.
Well, it's nostalgia.
Yeah,
is what it is. It's synonymous with Halloween Havoc, and that's why they're doing it. So I mean, for something like that, I'll allow it.
Okay.
Because it's nostalgia. I get why they're doing it. I ain't hating on it. But yeah, more often than not, I don't really like the wheel stuff.
That's right.
But for Halloween Havoc specifically, I like that they're doing the spin the wheel, make the deal thing. I can't hate.
And Shotzi's going to be a good host too. So, head into some headlines before we get the hell out of here. Two interesting names are removed from the Ring of Honor website: Dan Maff and Marty Scurll. Of course, Marty has not been seen since the allegations and such, so one has to wonder what the future of Marty holds, Matt.
Dude should have signed with AEW, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
They would have sent him to sensitivity training for a month and he'd have been back on TV.
EC3 shows up in the Ring of Honor. I'm here to see if the honor is real. Whole list of new shows for you on the WWE Network. I kind of mentioned some of this last week, but this is all on the free version, the free 99 version of the WWE Network. Lillian Garcia's Chasing Glory is going to be on Mondays. Uncool with Alexa Bliss on Tuesdays. After the Bell, Corey Graves on Wednesdays. Not Sam Wrestling on Thursdays. Swerve City Podcast on Fridays. Drew and A on Saturdays. And The New Day, Feel the Power on Sunday as they bring the podcasts over to the network.
Good grief.
Yeah, I wonder. They must have realized that the podcasts were not doing any listens, so they decided to move them to the network and make them video.
Honestly, they'll probably do better.
Yeah. Terry Funk has sent a message out to everybody that's imitating him on Twitter. You egg sucking dog. Keith Lee traveled to New York City, Matt, to do vocals for a new version of an entrance theme. Thank God.
Thank God. We all could agree on that. But look, if they're going to continue to use him like they used him on Monday against the Lions, no theme music on the planet's going to save him right now.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar was recently added to UFC 4, the video game. It was free over the weekend. I don't know if that was just a limited free or if you have to pay now. Don't ask me.
That game's been trash.
It wasn't too bad, but it gets bland pretty quick.
I played the 10-hour free thing, and I played it for maybe like an hour. And I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I played quite a bit of career mode, but up, down, down. Well, besides every Wednesday when you can watch Uno.
No.
Hey Breeze, what color do you want? We got to get an Uno game going soon. Put that up on the channel. Mario Kart Live, they set up, which is the new AR video game for Mario Kart that just came out recently. They set it up in the Thunderdome. So pretty cool video there if you want to go check that out on Up, Down, Down. Also, I think before that, they did a little test drive in Breeze's home as well. So, which is kind of funny when Breeze's cat gets in the way. Ratings for NXT and AEW both down this week. AEW dropped from 826 to 753, while NXT dropped from 651 to 644. The demo, AEW stayed at 0.3. NXT dropped down to 0.16 in that ever popular 18 to 49 demo. SmackDown Go Home show was moved to FS1 because of the World Series, and that just dropped the audience like a rock. 881,000 tuned in for that Go Home show. And Raw for this week, those numbers came out today, and slight drop from 1.77 to 1.73. Still 300,000 people tuned out from hour 1 to hour 3, though.
I'm not surprised, motherfucker.
No. Serpentico has announced that he has signed an AEW deal. So that is now official. Jake Hager.
Hey, Tony Khan, stop wasting money on Serpentico and get Matt Cardone under a deal.
Yeah, I can't believe he's under a deal. Mark Cho was convinced that Mark Cardona is going to show up in that the gauntlet or the call your shot match because he's not under a deal yet.
I'm so glad he didn't.
Jake Hager is returning to the Bellator cage this Thursday, October 29th.
Can't wait to not watch it.
On the CBS Sports Network.
Not gonna watch it. Not even a little bit.
Mick Foley said of the Le Dinner Debonair, Jericho and MJF singing a show tune on AEW was one of the most ridiculous, juvenile things I have ever seen in wrestling or anywhere. And then in all caps, I loved every second of it. Tommy Dreamer, blown away. Jericho and MJF, #steak dinner, was the most creative thing I've seen in wrestling in the past 20 years. So you WWE marks can just shut the hell up. It's another button I need on here, Matt.
You stupid idiots!
Look, like I said, if that segment was done exactly like that on WWE television, I would have loved it. Like it doesn't matter what brand is doing something like that. If it's entertaining, it's entertaining.
Yeah, exactly. It was announced that Dave Bautista will be a playable character in Gears of War 5's campaign when the game receives its Xbox Series X update.
He walks alone.
It was funny when I was talking about the lawyer tonight on Twitter, Matt, during Impact, and I called him a barista on purpose. I didn't realize one of my tweets auto-corrected barista to Batista. So I called him a Batista.
He wishes he was a Batista.
Up, down, down has another Among Us match with Adam Cole, Woods, Drew Gulak, Ron Funches, Swiss is in there. I can't remember who else. Chugs is in there. No Breeze though in that one, but They had eight people playing Among Us, which is always fun to watch. So go check that out. What else, Matt?
Yeah.
Maybe this is why he won retained the championship at Bound for Glory. X Division champion Rohit Raju has signed to a new multi-year deal with Impact Wrestling.
Yes, because that was the contract you guys just had to get done.
WWE has a lot of jobs open, Matt. If you want to go apply.
Why would you wish that upon me?
You can make some money.
Working under Vince McMahon?
Well, Cornell's still down there, isn't he?
That's NXT.
Yeah, he's still in.
He ain't working under Vince.
Paycheck says WWE. So WWE filed for the following trademarks: Akeem Young, Ivy Nile, Zion Quinn, Tony Madra, and Odyssey Jones. Do not recognize any of those names except for Tony Madra is the new ring name for Brandon Vink. So poor Jerry Lawler, he won't be able to gush on how he loves the name Brandon Vink.
Well.
Thank God. The Rock put on Twitter ahead of the induction of Ken Shamrock into the Hall of Fame of Impact, thanking Ken, saying, my pleasure. I don't know what he was replying to. Ken was very instrumental early in my career, and I'll always be grateful to him. Thank you as well for being so kind to me on that indie show we did back in 97. Tell all the Impact boys and girls, I said, keep working hard and have fun. Survivor Series on November 22nd will take place in the Thunderdome, but shortly after that, their lease is up and probably moving on elsewhere because mainly it's being rumored that the NBA is going to resume on Christmas Day or right before Christmas Day. So WWE is probably on the hunt for an arena that can handle all this shit as well as not have a pro NBA team. So to be determined. AEW Dark was 2.5 hours long tonight. Shit. I wonder if they just keep making this to see how many matches they can throw into it, Matt. Hikaru Shida takes on Layla Hirsch, who worked in Stardom in Japan and also CZW. And that's who you just said was taking, Serena Deeb was taking on tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Of course, Brandon Cutler, Peter Avalon. I hear it was a great match. I'm not going to spoil who won, but there was a finish.
Yeah, damn well better not.
There was a finish. SCU takes on the Hybrid 2. Brian Cage takes on Fuego del Sol. Oh, God. Nice knowing you, Fuego. Dark Order takes on Top Flight. Isn't that a golf company? Best Friends take on some jobbers. Will Hobbs takes on former WWE developmental talent Nick Comoroto. Never heard of him. Matt Sydal against Lee Johnson. That'll be a good match. I heard that WWE might have signed Ben. What's his last? Ben somebody.
Ben Carter.
Ben Carter.
Yeah, to an NXT UK deal.
Damn it. Ivelisse and Diamante in action against Kylan King, who I think has an 0-13 record. And Savannah Evans, who probably has close to an 0-13 record. Anna Jay in action. 10 against Sean Maluda. Ricky Starks takes on VSK, whoever that is. Darby Allin in action, Sonny Kiss in action, and Jurassic Express in action. So a very loaded 2.5 hour edition of Dark. Mike Johnson posted on PW Insider the producers who worked the Hell in a Cell matches. Michael PSA's worked the Reigns and Uso one. Joseph Park, aka Abyss, he was the producer for McIntyre and Orton, and Tyson Kidd and Pat Buck put together Sasha Banks and Bayley's cage match. So kind of interesting to see which producers had their hands in those cell matches. WWE files a trademark for a departed character, Sin Cara. So don't know if WWE is trying to revive that again or not.
Who knows?
And The Rock is not invincible. He posted on Instagram that he took it the hard way and got a little color while working out. Oops.
What can you do?
Tweet from last night. Pat McAfee paid off Ridge Holland to attack Adam Cole. So there you go, Matt.
Yeah, like we all knew that already.
Yeah. So who would you like to have it as the fourth?
I have no idea. I got nothing.
We already mentioned about Tucker being on the SmackDown roster, and apparently that's been fixed. Or has it been? Who knows? WWE filed trademarks on San Gradwell, Ridge Holland, Saxton Hurley, Sid Scala, and Tony Storm. The best of Halloween Havoc is now out on the WWE Network. Goes all the way back to 89 when Flying Brian Pillman took on Lex Luger for the United States title. We got Flair and Sting against Funk and the Great Muta. That was from 89. Nasty Boys Steiners from the 90. Ron Simmons, damn, and Lex Luger for the WCW Championship. 2 out of 3 falls at 91. Flair and Hogan for the title with Mr. T as the guest referee from 94. Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero for the Cruiserweight title in 97. If Rey lost, he would have to unmask. I forget who wins that match, Matt. Do you remember?
I don't remember.
DDP against Macho Man in 97 and DDP against Goldberg in 98 are what they've added to the network. What does Booker T have against Sasha Banks, Matt? You hear about all this shit?
I don't care.
He mentioned something in the pre-show, and then he did something on his podcast and doubled down on it. So, yeah, Booker T's got something against. Marcho thinks that's Hangman passed out, but that dude looks like he had short hair.
I mean, I don't know. It could be anybody from the top down like that.
Maybe it's Jeff Jarrett.
I meant anybody under contract.
And finally tonight, new series for WWE action figures has been announced. Rhea Ripley gets her first action figure in Series 114, along with Kofi Kingston, The Fiend, Shorty G. Ricochet has 2 different variants of tights there, and no elites. So that's just Series 114 there. So there you go. That's going to do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard. I'd like to thank SpiderDuck.net for being our host and enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, and any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know a new episode comes your way every Wednesday. And we're also on the YouTube, and give us a subscribe there. The links to that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard, as well as our Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we also share a lot of the great tweets from the wrestling world. Matt's on the Twitter at Raw of Showtime. I'm on the Twitter at JB Huskers. And before we ride off into that sunset here, Matt, what are your final thoughts?
It's Rusev Day.
Sure, why not? That works.
It's Miro Day.
I don't have a whole lot of thoughts tonight. Tired.
Yep, it's time to get out of here. We'll see what happens next week with all the good stuff as we head towards Survivor Series. Yawn. Where we get to hear that tagline for 85 times between the next 3 weeks. Really nothing much to look forward to except for Full Gear, huh, Matt? And we are quickly approaching that go home show, aren't we? Next week.
I would think Full Gear should be a pretty great show.
Yeah. So we do have that to look forward to with that go home show a week from tomorrow, or Wednesday, a week from today, as you're listening to the podcast. But for Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost in Midcard. We'll be back at you next week.